Hello and welcome back, team, to another live stream. So it is Thursday, the 16th of May. And of course, we are going to go through the charts, take a look at what Bitcoin is currently doing, what I'm expecting from Bitcoin, and also take a look at the next trades that I'm interested in taking as well. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Would really appreciate it. Really helps me out, really helps the channel out. So just smash that thumbs up button, and we will jump straight on into the analysis. So if you are new here, then also make sure that you subscribe and turn the bell notification on. I am doing live streams every day as of now. So you don't want to miss them, because when was it? On the 2nd of May, I entered into a long trade on live stream. You don't want to miss the live streams, because sometimes I may be entering into some trades on stream, which again is usually for the Visionary members. But if I'm live, then I might as well open up the trade live to you, just to give you that little bit of extra proof that I'm actually taking these trades as well, because I understand that there's a lot of a lot of people out there who say they take trades, but they don't actually take trades. But you can go back, you can watch this live stream, you can see me entering into that trade live. Ever since we entered into that trade, what has price done? Well, it's had a really nice rise towards the upside. So let's jump into the charts, let's talk about it, and any questions, of course, put them in the chat and I will be more than happy to answer them. Anything you want me to look at as well, I'll be happy to look at that. So Mo, good to see you back. Hello, Mo. Good to see you back here. Hope you are doing all right. I am okay. The weather's got a little bit nicer. I remember this morning it was absolutely chucking it down. But yeah, I am doing well, thank you. Hope you're doing well as well. But let's jump into the charts. Let's see what's going on. So we're seeing Bitcoin pull back as of right now. I just want to talk about this briefly. Okay, I just want to talk about this little pullback. Before we do that, let's actually just talk about. So yesterday in the live stream, we were at about 64,700, I believe. Okay, we had 64,700. And then we got a rise towards the upside to $65,500. Now, I was telling everybody in the stream yesterday that 65,500 is a level that I'm interested in shorting. Now, I didn't take a short from this level. I could possibly enter into a short, okay, off of the thesis that we're possibly forming a failed auction of this $65,500. But then again, I want to talk about this pullback that's happening right now, and I will talk about what's going on with that. But we came up to $65,500. I told the team on the Visionary Discord, that was this morning. I said no short trades for me. This is a very bullish rise in my eyes. Okay, so again, right, this rise is just looking really good. I'm not interested in taking a short trade at this level here, at this moment in time anyway, because this rise has just been so nice. So I didn't take a short off of that. If you did enter into a short off of this, you would have most likely have got stopped out, unless you had your stop loss up here at 67,243. And of course, if you entered into the short there, you would now finally be in some nice profits. But like I said, I want to talk about this pullback that we are seeing right now, because I don't really like it. Okay, the expectation is that we get a pullback before another rise towards the upside anyway, just because we have had such an impulsive move. Okay, but of course we don't want to give any of this rise back here. Okay, we don't want to give this rise back. This is a very bullish rise. If we give this back, if we give this rise back, then I'd say, right, this is pretty bearish. This is probably just another lower high, right? Like the title, right? Is this another lower high, or is this going to take us to all-time high? Okay, but if we give all of this price action back, then this is probably just another lower high, right? And it gets bearish. Okay, right now we're starting to build this bullish thesis. Okay, we're starting to build this bullish thesis, because we were thinking of this as another lower high to come down and form another lower low, but we've not done that now, okay? And we're starting to form bullish market structure locally here, okay? So, like I said, we're starting to build this bullish thesis. And if we just give all of this back, right, then we're just throwing away that bullish thesis, really. Unless, yes, we do continue to hold this bullish market structure, right? And, if we can look bullish at this level here. So, yeah, let's talk about this pullback that's happening right now, because I don't like it. Like I said, right, let's take a look at order flow. Let's just refresh it, make sure we're fully up to scratch, right? And we can see, right, price is pulling back. Okay, we are seeing CVD ticking towards the downside. We're seeing negative delta. We're seeing, fairly decent volume. Okay, 33 million, 21 million, 40 million, 20 million. It's good. It's good volume. Negative delta 6.1, 8.6, 7.5, 2.4 here. That's okay. But we take a look at the open interest, right? What's open interest doing? It is decreasing. Okay, open interest is decreasing on this pullback, which is why I don't like the pullback. I don't like this pullback because open interest is decreasing. So for me, this is a bit of a weak pullback. And if we zoom out, we can see, and we know this, right, that this rise towards the upside was very bullish, right? This was a really bullish rise towards the upside. Okay, we can zoom in. We had lots of nice positive delta coming in, and we also had lots of nice volume as well, and like increasing volume as well. So, this was a really nice rise, open interest increasing, price rising, CVD ticking towards the upside, good delta, good volume as well, right? This was a really nice rise towards the upside. We don't want, like I said, we don't want to give this rise towards the upside back, because if we do that, then that's when it starts to get bearish. And if we were to give all of this price action back, I would expect open interest to be increasing, right? Because, yeah, it would just be more bearish. But at this moment in time, yes, we're getting a pullback, but it could change, right? It could change. As of right now, I don't expect us to give all of this price action back, just because this is a weak pullback as of now. If this starts to turn into like a strong pullback, then of course, right, then I'll sort of flip my bias a little bit and say, okay, right, if this is a strong pullback, we can then give all of this rise towards the upside. And then, maybe look for a long trade down here. Okay, maybe look for a long trade here. Just taking a look at, we can even look at it as Elliott wave. I've been talking about this as well. So we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Okay, we could have already come up to form wave 3 here. Okay, as you can see, perfect resistance at the mid-range of the parallel channel right there. Okay, I've been talking about that level for a while. Now, I haven't entered into a short here because I was hoping for a little bit higher. I was hoping for the POC here, which we front run ever so slightly. And I was also waiting for this high at $67,243 for the highest probability short trade setup. Now, I was telling the team this morning in the daily market update. So I do daily market updates for the team every morning. So this morning I did a daily market update, and I was telling the team that there was actually a valid short trade from this level here, and we can actually zoom in, right? There was a valid short trade. It would have got stopped out initially, okay, and that, you could have re-entered into it and it would be in some nice profits. But yeah, personally, I didn't take this trade. And first of all, the trade that I was talking about and saying that, yes, it's valid, but I'm not taking it, it got stopped out anyway, okay? So I was looking at just a very simple GP 786 level, which price was coming into. So, scrap all this price action that's just happened here. Okay, I was looking at it when we were coming into this GP 786 here. We also had long absorption coming in. So if we scrap all of the price action that we've had here, okay, we can see price is forming lower highs. CVD is forming higher highs. Okay, this is textbook divergence, right? This is a textbook long absorption. So we have long absorption coming into this GP 786 level back here. Okay, and where are we here? So let's just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so here, so we had GP 786. long absorption, and we also had that mid-range of the parallel channel. So I was telling the team this morning, right, there's confluence here for a short trade. There is confluence for a short trade. However, I'm just not taking it, as I would prefer to see just a little bit higher, right, to $67,243. Okay. If, and this is like, this trade here is more of like a scalp trader entry, right? Because you're looking at taking profit down here. It's a nice trade, yes, but it's more of like a scalp trade. And especially with this pullback being weak, you don't really want to hold this trade open for that long if it's going to be a weak pullback. Of course, you can leave a little bit left in the trade, and if it does start to turn into a strong pullback, that's when you're going to want to still have capital inside the trade. But yeah, initially, right, what happened? Okay, this trade did start to pull back ever so slightly, but then price came up, stopped it out, okay, because the stop would have been above the high. Again, I didn't enter into this trade. I wasn't interested in this short trade. I was waiting for the higher probability short trade. And then we actually formed a swing failure pattern of that high. Again, it's a valid trade. It is a valid trade because we have confluence at the level, right? The long absorption was invalidated because we broke the high. So the long absorption was invalidated, but we still had the mid-range of the parallel channel. So we formed a swing failure pattern, mid-range of the parallel channel. Okay, it's not the highest probability trade setup, but it's a good trade setup, and as you can see from there, we've had a nice pullback. Okay, so the setup would have looked something like this. Now, I haven't entered into this short trade. It would have been a nice short trade, but I was just hoping for a little bit higher, just a little bit higher up to at least the POC. But then even if we came up to POC, I would have expected $67,243 to be taken out. So yeah, I just haven't taken that short trade. I wasn't interested in it. Okay, and I said, I'll hold my hands up and say that I missed the trade if we do get a big pullback. But where I'm sat right now, I'm not in favor of a big pullback just because the start of this pullback is weak. Okay, it is weak. Like I said, right, we could start to see shorts opening. Okay, if we get open interest increasing as the price still pulls back, then I'll shift to my bias and I'll say, right, okay, this is a strong pullback. I've missed the short trade, okay, because the short trade would have been from up here. There possibly would be a second short entry off of the basis that we form a failed auction of the level, okay, and the stop loss would be up at around 66,000, 66,900, I'd say. That's where I'd put the stop, and then we would be targeting these lows here. Okay, so this is again still like it is still a valid short trade for me. There's still 7 hours still left, depending on what time frame you want to enter into it off of. 3 hours left, possibly for like a confirmation of the failed auction. But and you could be looking at entering in on even like the 1 hour time frame. But yeah, I'm not interested in this short at this moment in time because it's a weak pullback. If we start to see strength on this pullback, i.e. we start to get open interest increasing, okay, we start to see open interest increasing, then I'd have more conviction to enter into a short here and more conviction to expect price to move lower here. But yeah, as of now, I just don't see that. So I'm just going to remain patient. And if this is still a weak pullback, okay, again, I say this all the time, a weak pullback or a weak rise, we most likely give it back. Okay, we most likely, most of the time, at least 80% of the time, we give it back. Okay, not all of the time, but at least 80%. That's on the low end, okay? So the expectation really is that we actually, if this continues, this pullback, this weak pullback, if it continues, the expectation is that we give it back and we get another rise towards the upside. And then we're looking for, that like 67,243, where from there we could possibly get the short trade, or, we just absolutely smash. We absolutely smash through this level. And yeah, we come up to value area high up here at around, let's call it 70,000. Okay, around here at 70,000. That's if we get a strong impulsive move above it. But yeah, I mean, it's a valid short trade. Like I said, I just haven't taken it. I'm looking for the highest probability trade setups. I think I said this in the daily market update this morning, right? This short trade that I took here, okay, and this short trade has actually been stopped out now. Let me just pull the trades up here. So I still have this short trade here that I entered into from all-time high. So that was the short trade that I entered into all the way up here. That trade is still open. Stop loss is, yeah, what's the stop loss? 69,300. So yeah, I've actually moved the stop loss 69,300. So that's a almost or just below value area high here. I could have had the stop loss at break even, which is at when I entered into the trade, of course. But then remember, I added to the short trade here as well. Okay, so we had a short setup here. I added to the short trade there, entered into the short, added into the short trade here, and that's obviously brought my entry price down. And then yeah, I've put the stop loss just like, what is it? Yeah, like a $1,000 ish below what the entry price is. So yeah, my stop loss is, yeah, what's it? 69,300. Okay, but I've still got that short trade open. But this one here that I entered here, so this short trade I entered has now been stopped out. As you can see, it has now been stopped out. I'm not actually in that trade anymore because we got stopped out at entry. Right, we came up, we tapped the entry, and yeah, again, we've seen a pullback from tapping the entry. But initially, this was a very, very profitable trade, okay? A very profitable trade. And I didn't want to turn this winning trade into a losing trade. So I moved the stop loss to entry, right? I took a lot of profit on that trade and I moved the stop loss to entry, making it just a completely risk-free trade. Completely risk-free trade, no worries whatsoever. So yeah, that's sort of where my trades sit at this moment in time. Still in the short from all-time high and this high here. Okay, and of course I'm still in the long trade as well, so we do still have the long trade open. Remember, I did make a mistake and I took too much profit on this long trade, so I'm not as long as I want to be. But initially, yeah, we entered into this. Yeah, you remember, if you were there, we entered into the long trade live on stream. I am in another long trade from the same level on another account as well, and I'm still at quite a bit more long on that. So yeah, I haven't. This is a TP zone for me. I haven't taken another TP here because I did take a TP up at this high here when we were testing those highs. So yeah, I'm not interested in taking another TP on the long. I'm happy with how much profit I've taken on the long trade at this moment in time. Next TP would probably be, we did actually front run the next TP I was looking at. It was like POC. And then, of course, value area high and all-time high. Those are like the next like TP levels that I have for this long trade. Of course, with that long trade as well, stop loss has been moved to entry. So again, risk-free trade, nothing to worry about there whatsoever. But yeah, again, this pullback is weak, right? This pullback is weak. Let's see how this plays out. Expectation really is that we give all of this back. To be honest with you, we give all of this rise back. All of this pullback back, as in we get a rise. Anything else? Anything else to talk about? Of course, any questions? Just put them in the chat. I'll be happy to answer any questions. But yeah, I mean, what were we talking about yesterday? So we were talking about the Elliott wave actually yesterday, because was it Martin brought it up talking about Elliott wave, asking if I used it, and yeah, I used it, and this is like I just drew this up yesterday, and this is like a perfect example of Elliott wave, right? We have wave 1, okay, coming down here, wave 2 coming up here to form the lower high, wave 3 to form the lower low, wave 4 for the lower high, wave 5. Okay, after wave 5, the expectation is that you form an ABC correction, A, B, C. We've now done that. Okay, we've formed the A, the B, and we have now formed the C. Whether the C has ended or not, we don't know. Okay, it could have. This could have been the end of C, and then yeah, we could see a pullback from here. The expectation at the end of C is, of course, you see a pullback. Okay, wherever that's going to be, this could be the pullback here, and then what you're actually looking at this ABC correction being is just another Elliott wave count. Okay, you're looking at it as a bullish count. So, of course, you have your A, your B, your C, which is now the 1, the 2, the 3. And then, this is what we've been talking about. Okay, so wave 3 has been formed. Has it ended wave 3? We don't know as of yet. But I was looking at wave 3 possibly coming up, taking out this high here, where we get a short setup. Okay, that could have occurred here. Okay, where we then come down to form wave 4, forming another higher low. Another higher low to get a long entry possibly down here. I'd like to see price coming into the GP786, see some short absorption. Okay, we also have some naked points of controls down at these levels as well. So there is confluence there, right? So yeah, I would like to see price coming into this short absorption, taking out an MPOC for the long setup, right? And then we can talk about wave 5 then. Okay, if we get a long trade setup here, then we're actually looking for wave 5, which is of course looking to take us above wave 3 all the way up here. Okay, so yeah, we'll just have to see how that plays out. Okay, we have to see whether this is the high here. Again, I haven't entered into a short here because my favorite short trade was from this high here. And yeah, this is what I was going to talk about a minute ago. I sort of got sidetracked a little bit, but the reason why I haven't taken a short trade off of the mid-range here is because, like I said, I'm waiting for the highest probability trade setup. Okay, when I entered into the trade here, it was the highest probability short trade setup. When I entered into the long here, it was the highest probability long trade setup. Here was not the highest probability short trade setup. Okay, the highest probability short trade setup was from that POC, right? Taking out that POC, taking out the high, that was the highest probability short trade setup, and then you would look to enter into the short off of that, and then look for the pullback there. Okay, again, that's all I'm looking for is the highest probability trade setups, and that's what helps you become profitable. Okay, because you're not looking for you don't want to look for every single setup, right? You do not want to look for every single setup. You just want to wait for the highest probability setups. Okay, highest probability setups, looking for confluence. Okay, looking for strength. Okay, in a move, confluence is the best thing you can be looking for. Okay, absolutely. When we entered into this trade, this trade up here. Okay, we were entering into this trade up here. How many bits of confluence did we have? We had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 bits of confluence here. So that is the highest probability trade setup. We entered in or added to the short here. Highest probability trade setup from here. Why is that? Okay, well, we had a high that we formed a swing failure pattern of. Okay, that's 2 confluences there. First of all, you have a high that you've used as resistance. Second of all, you formed a swing failure pattern. Third bit of confluence is that you are above value area high. Okay, we're very clearly above value area high here. And then the fourth bit of confluence was that we had a weekly naked point of control up here. Okay, we had a weekly naked point of control. I don't actually think, maybe we do. Yeah, so we had the weekly naked point of control up here as well. As you can see, still got that on the chart at $71,970, right? We took out the naked point of control, 4 bits of confluence there. So this short trade was the highest probability short trade setup. Okay, even the short trade from all-time high. Yes, the confluence wasn't there wasn't mega confluence, but you have to think, right? All-time high swing, that's a major level in itself. So you've got 2 bits of confluence with a high, You've got the other bit of confluence is it's an all-time high. That's just like a major bit of confluence in itself. And then you have the third bit of confluence, which is the swing value pattern of the all-time high. So that's three bits of confluence there. Not the highest probability. I mean, it's a very high probability trade. It's not as high of probability as this one here, okay, or this one here. Right, this one we had POC, we had a high, we had swing failure patterns, 3, we had mid-range 4, and we had VWAP here as well. So that was five bits of confluence there. So this short trade that I entered into, highest probability short trade setup. Okay, so that's exactly just what I'm looking for. Right, the highest probability trade setups. And another bit of confluence, to be fair, with the short from all-time high was that we consistently, and I consistently shorted all-time high, we consistently formed swing failure patterns of the all-time high. Every all-time high we made, we formed a swing failure pattern of it, and we saw a price pullback. That was just more conviction. I shorted every single all-time high. If you have access to the Visionary Discord, go through and just look at all the short trades I took from all-time high. Maybe I can find them, but I can't remember how many shorts I took from all-time high, but I shorted pretty much every single all-time high that we had. So was that? But it was just like all we were seeing was swing failure pattern after swing failure pattern after swing failure pattern of the all-time high, and it was just the perfect trade setups. I just wasn't going to miss those trade setups, right? And there we go, another all-time high. Last night I told you that's what I was expecting. Short trade for me. Okay, that was a nice short. We were looking for a long. Didn't quite get the long trade set up. And then there you go, another swing failure pattern of all-time high. Entered into another short trade there. And that was actually the all-time high. The current all-time high. And then we had, here, short from, was that all-time high? Yeah, that was all-time high as well. Right, shorted all-time high there as well. That was a really profitable trade. Then we longed, okay, after that. Back up to all-time high. And there was another short setup for me. How many is that? 4 shorts from all-time high, I think. Let's see. There you go. And there we go, all-time high. Okay, that was the trade to all-time high. Then short setup for me straight after that. Just literally shorting that all-time high. Was there another short setup for me? A new Bitcoin all-time high. How many is that? 5, 6. I've lost count now. Short setup. There we go. Another short from all-time high. How did that play out? There you go. Look at that. Short trade from all-time high. I've lost count. How many was that? 5 or 6? Are there any more? Short setup from me here. Was that an all-time high though? No, that wasn't an all-time high. Well, so 5 or 6 there. I lost count, to be honest. But I shorted the all-time high 5 or 6 times. So that, again, just going back to what I was talking about, the short from all-time high, the recent all-time high, that was another bit of confluence right there and then. Okay, the amount of times that I'd shorted all-time high, however many times it was, maybe 5. I shorted all-time high 5 times before that. What are you looking for next, right? You're just looking for another short of all-time high. If it's working, why stop? Just keep doing it. And you can look at it as 2 ways. Like, this is how I think about things. It's probably not a good way to think about things, but I don't let it affect me, of course. But it's like I always trade my plan. But it's like if something happens so many times, okay, like an SFP of all-time high, what's the highest probability that? What's a higher probability for it to work or for it to not work? That's like, because of course, right? A swing failure pattern from all-time high. It's worked 100% of the time out of those 6 trades that I've taken. But at some point, it is going to fail. I know that, right? Because in trading, nothing is 100%. So at some point, it is going to fail. But if it's worked 6 times, okay, like perfectly, 6 times, 100%, 6 times, okay, what's a higher probability that it's going to work again or that it's going to fail? Because I'm expecting it to fail. I am expecting it to fail because nothing's ever 100% in trading. So I always have that thought, like, what is the highest probability scenario? Is it going to just win again or is it going to fail? I don't know. What's your opinion on that? I don't really know, to be honest with you. Ultimately, I want to think that, the highest probability is that it's going to do it again. But then I have that thought of, in trading, it's never 100%. There's nothing that's ever 100%. So it's like at some point that loss is going to come, and the more times that you win, the more you're expecting that loss to come. So yeah, that's just a little thought that I have quite a lot. Like when I trade something, like repeatedly, rinse and repeat it. It's like I'm just expecting for that loss to come. With the swing value patterns from all-time high, that hasn't come yet. Okay, I haven't actually taken a loss. I'm not talking about like the whole time that I've been trading. Okay, for like my whole trading career. No, I'm talking about 2024, right? The all-time highs from 2024. I shorted 6 of the all-time highs off of swing failure patterns, and all 6 of them were winning trades. It's like I went through it in the stream yesterday. I think it was yesterday, and I was talking about, and I went through the Discord as well, and I was just showing everybody who was watching the previous trades that I'd taken, right? So yeah, I was talking about, so this long that I've entered into here, okay, this is just a strategy that I'm rinsing and repeating, and it just works and works and works and works. Right, the minimum like win percentage is 80% on this, okay, and I've proven it so many times. Take advantage of the free trial that we have running at this moment in time. It won't be running for much longer, so make sure you take advantage of that 1-day free trial and just go through the Discord and just take a look at the trades that I'm taking, okay, and you can see that I'm just literally rinsing and repeating different strategies, okay, that work, right? And this is exactly one of the examples. The amount of trades that I've taken recently where I have literally just longed or shorted a failed auction of range low. Okay, the amount of times I went through it yesterday, and I don't know how far I had to go up. It was. I don't think I even went up far, to be honest with you. So, this was the long trade setup here. Okay, this was a previous long trade 68. Yeah, this was a previous long trade setup that was on the 1st of April. Okay, that again, that was just a simple swing value pattern of range low. There was that. I think did we take a loss on that? No. I don't know how far I scrolled up, to be honest with you. I won't be able to find the exact things that I was looking at because there is just so much stuff in here. But yeah, just rinse and repeat strategies that work, right? It's so simple. Of course, it's not simple, um, but once you understand it, here just longing range low, shorting range high. These weren't the examples that I was looking at yesterday, I don't think. I must have scrolled up far, to be honest with you. I love it when a plan comes into fruition as well. Uh, yeah, I don't know where I was looking. It's probably much further up, but we're not just gonna endlessly scroll through this. There's too much in there. But yeah, it's just all about finding something that works, right? Finding a strategy that works for you. If you're a day trader, find a day trading strategy. If you're a swing trader, I call myself more of a swing trader. Even though I do take day trades here and there, I'd consider myself more like intraday swing trader. Okay, I know what works. Okay, and I just literally rinse and repeat it. And you have to understand as well, not everything works, right? Not everything works. When I got into trading, all I was looking at was triangle patterns, head and shoulders patterns. I've talked about this before, I know, and I just rant about it, but it's like looking at those things, it's not gonna make you a profitable trader, right? You have to think, okay, the people who really make the money in the markets are the institutions. Okay, they are the ones that make the real money. Do you think they're wasting their time with breakouts of triangles? It's not what they're looking at. Absolutely not what they are looking at. Okay, they're looking at the advanced tools. They're looking at the advanced tools. They're looking at the advanced analysis. So that's what you should be looking at as well. But yeah, there are certain simple things that you can look at. Of course, I still look at triangle patterns, right? Remember, I was looking at this triangle pattern. I'm not going to draw it exactly how I had it before. I was looking at this triangle pattern here, okay? But did I long the breakout? No, I shorted the breakout, okay? I shorted the breakout here because I knew that this was going to be a fake out, and that's exactly what it was, okay? So what was I doing? I was trading against the breakout traders who longed this here. The amount of people who were looking at this as a triangle, I guarantee you there were just thousands and thousands of crypto influencers on YouTube looking at this triangle pattern and saying, breakout, I'm longing the breakout, blah, blah, blah. And you can see that they would have got absolutely wrecked. And it doesn't mean to say like triangle patterns don't play out as they're supposed to. Like, of course, sometimes they do, but the majority of the time they don't. And it's also like, if this was a nice break towards the upside, I wouldn't have shorted it. Okay. But then I come over and look at the advanced tools, order flow, and I think, right, it's not looking, this rise isn't looking bullish. Okay, yes, we're getting a breakout, but it's not actually looking bullish. If it was looking bullish, right, and we had really nice order flow, I still wouldn't have longed it, of course, right? I was in a long trade from down here anyway. Yeah, that was the long setup that I was in. I was in a long trade from down there anyway, so there was no need. I could have added to the trade possibly. Yeah, but I would never long the breakout like that. It's just not how I do it. A big reason for that is that when I was consistently losing a lot of money, that's what I was doing. I was longing breakouts, okay? And that's when I was consistently losing money. When I stopped doing that, I started to consistently win trades, okay? And it was just such a simple shift of that. Of course, I say simple. It sounds simple, but it's not. It's taken a lot of time, a lot of pain, a lot of mental suffering. But yeah, just you just need to learn it. You just need to literally learn the advanced stuff, and it seems daunting at first. And I think that, yeah, I put it off for months, just because, like, even looking at this, and it's not even that advanced, right? This isn't even like that advanced stuff. It's when I'm not going to load it up now because it's going to take up too much of my computer power whilst I'm also live streaming. But there's a desktop version of this which is much more advanced. Do you get a lot more information? You can modify it a lot more. I don't know if you get much more information on it, to be honest with you, but yeah, it's just a lot more advanced and it looks a lot more daunting. And then once you understand it, once you put the time in to understand it all, it's simple to just look at, right? You can look at it. I could open up the computer in the morning, I look at it for 10 seconds and I know exactly what's going on. Okay, I know exactly what's going on. Of course, it's not going to give you, and nothing will ever give you this, it's not going to give you like the ability to enter into a trade at any time and predict where price is going to go every single time. Of course, it's not that, but it can take your win rate from 40% all the way up to like 90%. Okay, 90% at times, minimum like 80% if you're using this and you really, really understand it. Because it will prevent you from entering into trades, but it will also strengthen conviction when entering into trades. Okay, and the biggest one really is like stopping you from entering into trades. Okay, like exactly like this here. Okay, exactly like this break towards the upside of this triangle here. Okay, order flow, even though I would never have longed this anyway, order flow prevented me from like being bullish here, prevented me from longing here. Okay, and actually made me short here. So it prevented me from longing and helped me enter into a short trade. So it is extremely powerful. Let's see. Right, price is continuing to pull back. I mean, there's a slight increase in open interest. So there are some shorts opening up. But yeah, I mean, if we give all of this back, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Because, the reason why is because it was such a nice rise towards the upside. It was such a bullish rise towards the upside. But if we just give all of that back, it's like, it's literally like building a Lego house or something, and then someone comes along and just kicks it down. Giving it all back, it's just not bullish at all. It's not bullish. I mean, I still understand that, yes, we could be looking at this, we could be looking at something like this. This could have just been the end of wave 3. And, that we're coming down to wave 4, and we could form a higher low. So I will be aware of this scenario, and I will still, I will still have this in the back of my mind that this is a possibility. But if we just give all of this back, it's like, it's not good. It's not good at all. And we haven't even broken this high here. We haven't got above this high, which isn't good. Because remember, we're still in. It means we're still in this bearish market structure that we're looking at here. And their expectation is we come for a lower low. If we break this bearish market structure, that's when, again, you start to build more of a bullish case, okay? Because you break above POC, you sort of invalidate that bearish market structure now, You use that POC as support, and then you can be targeting that next high up here at like 73,000. And that could get very bullish, right? It could get very, very bullish if we can get above that POC. Yes, there's still an argument that it'll still be bearish, okay, because we could still be in bearish market structure, right? We could be looking at it more like this, okay, take out that high. There's still that argument, right? There's still that argument, but if we get above that POC, there's more of an argument for the bullish case than the bearish case, okay? It's like that. I don't know the scales, the old-fashioned scales. Where if you put something heavier on one side, it starts to. I don't know what I'm sure they've got a proper name, but the heavier item starts to move lower than the lighter item. Okay, and that's how it is. That's how you have to look at it. If we get above POC, we use it as support. Right, the bullish case is a little bit more favorable than the bearish case, because there's just more bullish scenarios, right? But if we're going to remain below this, okay, like we are now, we're getting rejection from mid-range. The bearish scenarios are outweighing the bullish scenarios a bit more at this moment in time. So yeah, it's not great. We want to get above that POC. We want to use that as support, that strength, right? And then we can start talking about, okay, yes, all-time high is more probable now. And, I would like this. I would like all-time high, not because I'm just like a perma bull, but because I'm in a long trade, right? I'm in a long trade on Bitcoin. So, of course, I want to see price rise. I'm also in a short trade as well from all-time high. So, again, I've said this in a previous stream. I've positioned myself in such a way that I'm going to profit either way, okay? And it's a very hard. It's very hard to get yourself in a position like this, but once you know what you're doing, once you learn everything, it's a pretty easy place to get yourself to put yourself in this situation where you can profit no matter what. Of course, when I entered into this long trade, there was a possibility I could have got stopped out of the long trade, yes. Okay, but then once you take that TP1, move the stop loss to entry. Okay, you can sit back, you can relax, because there's no way that you're gonna lose any money. Okay, you're in a short, stop loss is at entry, you've taken a TP1, you can sit back. Long trade, you've taken a TP1, stop loss is at entry, you can sit back, you can relax, and just let the trades ride. Okay, if the short gets stopped out, that's fine. You've taken profit, your stop loss is at entry, let the long trade ride. Okay, if your long trade gets stopped out, that's fine. You've moved your stop loss to entry. Let the short trade ride. Let the short trade pay you. Okay, it's very, very simple. Of course, it's hard to get to that point. I understand. Yeah, it's very hard to get to that point. It took me about a year and a half to get to this. It took about a year and a half to get to this point. Actually, even longer than that. It took like 3 years to get to this point. Okay. But once you put in the work, and the main reason why it took me so long is because I had nothing. Like I had nothing to go off of. I was pulling things from over here. I was pulling things from over here, like learning things from like loads of different people. Okay, and that's sort of what I want to try and do here. I want to make it like one place where you can learn everything that you need to know. Okay, the proof is in the pudding right here. The proof is in the pudding. The trades that I'm entering into. Okay, I'm sharing them all. I'm sharing all of the trades. Of course, I'm not live streaming every single trade that I take, but if there is a trade that I want to take and I am live streaming at that moment in time, of course I will. The perfect example was this long trade here. Of course, if you want access to every single trade I take, I put all of the trades I take in this Visionary Discord. But yeah, and just an update as well. I am working my way through the education for the advanced stuff, which is like EXO charts, the VWAP. I've actually wrote a note down of all of the ones that Let me just find it. Where is it here? So we've got open interest, we've got VWAP, we've got OBV, we've got session volume, NPOCs, we've got XO intro, we've got delta, CVD, imbalances, SFP, advanced. So those are all of the like advanced stuff that I'm trying to get through. And that's not even all of it as well. What I want to do is I want to put together videos where, because of course this is just like individual stuff, right? I'm talking about open interest individually. I'm talking about CVD individually, just so you get like a good understanding of it. And then what I want to like a really good understanding of what it is with no distractions. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to have videos where I am literally going through previous trades that I've taken and just talking about the confluence that I've added. You know, all of these advanced tools that I have been teaching, okay, I then want to put all together, okay, to help. Well, I will show how I put them all together to take these trades, right? It's exactly like the short trade from, let's just show you an example, right? It was a short from up here. I want to see if I still have the. Do I still have the photo of it? No. I don't think I do. Right, so yeah, it was the short trade from up here. Okay. So of course, SFP, that's an individual video. We have the weekly MPOCs, of course, that's an individual video as well. We had the fixed range, that's an individual video in itself. But then I want to do a video of where, you know, I'm talking about all three of them at the same time, just talking about why I've entered into this trade, talking about the confluence and so on. Okay. And just do that for every setup that I'm looking for. You know, I can do that for this one here as well. Okay. I can do that for this one here. I could do that. This is the reason why I have kept this long trade on here, because this is another setup, right? We had a daily MPOC, we had a GP786, we had short absorption. Okay, that there is a setup that I'm looking for every single day. If I see that setup, I take that setup every single day. That's just perfect. So yeah, that's you know what my plan is. Of course, all of the stuff that I have on the website as of right now is just it is the basics. Of course, you need to understand the basics as well. There are some slight advanced stuff in there, I think, but yeah, it's mostly the basics and like intermediate stuff, which are like the easy things to film. But then yeah, of course I'm working my way through it now after this live stream. I've been getting up at 6 a.m. Writing all the scripts in the morning, then doing the filming and the recording and the editing in the evenings, well, in the afternoons, in the evenings. So yeah, it's been pretty long, but yeah, I'm working my way through them. There are lots that I want to do. I just want to literally make sure that I get everything out, just everything, right? Not hold anything back, not miss anything. You know, I could do like a very simple video, like a live stream, but I want to do it once and I want to do it right, and just literally make sure everything is just laid out, very simple, okay, so everybody can understand. And then yeah, I don't have to, you know, do it again. I want to do it once. I want to do it right, and I want to make it the best as possible. I've done, of course, the courses that I have out now. I just want to make improvements on how they were, you know. Ready? Hey there. How much time did it time it took you for you to be profitable? To be like, I did like kind of say it. I don't actually really know, to be honest. Like, I started trading in 2020, so yeah, almost four. Like, yeah, I started trading. Let's say like 3.5 years ago. Um, and yeah, when I started, I was not profitable. I lost a lot of money. I've been profitable for about a year, a year and a half, I think. I think it's been like a year and a half where I haven't had a job. Okay, this is where I haven't had a job, and I've literally just been trading. Okay, for a year and a half, and I quit my job, and I was just literally trading, living off of trading. Right, it's been about a year and a half, I'd say. So yeah, I mean, you could say 2 years, but during that 2 years, I wasn't using the strategies that I use now, if you know what I mean. So it's like it's kind of hard to say. I can't really put a finger on it. It's like I'd say it probably took me about 4 to 6 months to like learn everything that I know now. And of course, like, not everything, but like the majority of like, at least 70% of what I know now. It took me like 4 to 6 months to learn. And then it's all about like refining it and like just really understanding it. Um, but yeah, so it took me like 2 years to become a profitable trader. But I wasted like a year and a half, almost 2 years, faffing about with triangle patterns, head and shoulders patterns. So um, yeah, you could say 2 years, but to be honest, it can take you a lot. Like, it can take you 6 months, it can take you 4 months. A month is pushing it, I think, because you really have to test it. You really have to work your way through it. But trust me, it's possible. It is possible to literally just live off of trading. It is. It takes a lot of dedication, but it is possible. I like to think of myself as like the perfect example. I wasn't the most academic kid in school. I hated school. I never wanted to be at school. Um, but you don't need to be academic to do this. You don't even need to be good at maths to do this. As soon as you say to someone who doesn't know about trading, they're like, "Oh, you have to be good at maths for that." I'm like, no, no. You look at numbers, you do, but it's like, yeah, the numbers are important, but you don't have to look at the numbers. You can do it without looking at the numbers. Obviously, the numbers is that like extra little bit that really, really helps you. But yeah, you don't really have to look at it. It's like here, you can zoom out and you can see when high volumes coming in. You can see when high positive delta, high negative delta is coming in. Okay, it's just when you look at those numbers that it really like refines it and gives you a really good understanding. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't really, yeah. So yeah, it took me at least, yeah, it took me 2 years, but when I took it seriously and I wasn't faffing around with silly patterns, um, yeah, I'd say it was like a good six. Oh yeah, it was around 6 months and a little bit over that. And that's like, once you learn it, it's like, oh, it's like, wow, okay. And like you just like it just really like opens up something that you just never really thought about, right? And it, like, opens up like how the markets work, okay, rather than looking at triangle patterns. Triangle breaks out, it's going up. There's just no logic behind it. Of course, it would be nice if that worked. If it worked, everybody would be rich. If it was easy, everybody would be rich. But it's not. It's really not. Um, but yeah, yeah, it's all about dedication. I guess it could take you a month, but you really have to put work in, and what really helped me was literally just back testing, replay mode on TradingView. Replay mode, that's really helpful. Okay, really, really helpful. So you can take advantage of replay mode. But yeah, it's just literally rinsing and repeating it. It's exactly what I do now. All I do is rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I actually just want to have a look at something as well, but this one here. But yeah, just literally rinsing and repeating the practicing, right? Just rinsing and repeating it. That's literally all it is. So let's have a look at this. So we had broken mid-range there. Yeah, I mean, this pullback still isn't great. We're getting a little bit of a rise, but it's still not great. Thanks for sharing. No worries, Reddy. No worries. I'm glad you enjoy it. I sort of started this channel just because, you have to understand every aspect of trading. It is a little bit boring a lot of the time, right? It's exciting, but it's only exciting at times, right? It's only exciting after you've entered into a trade and the trade's doing well. But at this stage of my career, if you want to call it that, it's like when I enter into a trade and, when it's a winning trade like this, I'm not celebrating, I'm not happy. It's just, it's just another day at work. That's sort of like what it becomes. Making some really nice profits. Like, I'm not really happy. I'm not like really like celebrating it. And I think that's a part of just eliminating the emotion, because that's one of the biggest things as well. Eliminating the emotion out of it is very, very hard, and that takes a very long time because you've got money, you've got real money on the line, right? You've got real money on the line. If you're not using proper risk management, you are really, really going to be affected by even entering into a trade. But you're also going to be affected by entering into winning trades as well in a negative way. Even though, yes, you're in a winning trade, but if you have emotion in that winning trade and you're really happy about being in that winning trade, it's like you're sort of just ruining it for yourself, because then once you get a losing trade, like, it really, really hits hard when you get that losing trade, okay? Because you've gone from really, really happy to off of the bat of winning a really good trade. Your confidence is really, really high, and then you just literally get slapped in the face. Okay, that is a lot more painful than just being slapped in the face. When you're really, really happy and then you get slapped in the face, that's like, that's horrible. But when you're just getting slapped in the face, it's not as bad, right? Because you're not really, really happy. It sounds silly, but it's the reality of it, and that's something that I went through as well. So it's like, now I just don't have any emotion in any trades at all. Of course, of course I do have a bit of emotion in there. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. Like, if I lose a trade, I'm like, it's annoying. The setup was perfect. But again, with like even entering into trades, like if you're putting big money on a trade as well, sometimes I'm putting, what I like to think is big money on a trade, and you just can't let the emotion affect you whatsoever, because it is just going to cripple your trading. It is just going to absolutely cripple your trading. And again, it's not like I have no emotion, okay, within trading. No, that is not the case. It's more of the lines that I control that emotion and I don't let it affect my trading decisions. It's like up here, for example, the short setup was there, right? The short setup was there. My emotion was telling me, you should short, price is going to pull back here, but I didn't. And again, this is like price is now pulling back. I'm not letting this emotion of missing out on this short trade affect me. Okay, this pullback here. Okay, I'm not letting that affect me. I know, okay, oh, well, I'm opening the App Store. I know, okay, that I am waiting for the highest probability short trade setup, which I know is from this high here, okay, because there was confluence there. I know that, okay. I know that this trade here, this trade here, this trade here, and this trade here were all off of the basis of entering into the highest probability trade setups possible. Even this long trade here, I loved this long trade. I want to talk. I want to make a video and talk about why I entered into this long trade here, because I absolutely just loved this long trade here. But yeah, all of these trades here, highest probability trade setups, all of them, the highest probability trade setups. And if I was to take this, I would have been taking this trade off of emotion, off of FOMO. Okay, I wouldn't have been, taking this trade off of my plan. Okay, my plan is to take the highest probability trade setups, and that was, okay, from up here. But we haven't hit that. We front run it, okay, and I have to accept that, right? Even if we do get a big move down here, I have to accept, right, okay, I've missed the short trade here, but that's okay. I was waiting for the highest probability trade setup. I know that that is what works for me, okay? I know that that is what makes me a consistently profitable trader, okay? Because I have that plan, I have that, set of rules, if you would like to call it that, okay? Waiting for the highest probability trade setups. Okay, sometimes maybe I'm not taking the highest probability trade setups, but of course I feel like I have the right to do so because I know that I am profitable. And when I do take these lower, like, if you want to call it on a tier list or a ranking list, like these lower ranking trades, of course I'm applying risk management to that as well. I'm not putting as much capital in than I usually would for like a high ranking trade. And that's another thing, right? There's just so many things. I should probably write that down as well, to do a video on that, like a tier list or a ranking list of trades. That really helps. Of course, it would be great to have them all written out, and I could do that, to be honest. I could write them all out. That's probably a good idea. I've got them all in my head. I know, right? I know my tier list in my head. So like looking at this long trade here. This long trade is at the top of my ranking list. Of course, it's not going to be in perfect order. It's not really going to be a perfect order because there are like hundreds of different types of trades that you could enter into. Okay, but this is one that I've entered into quite a lot, right? We have GP786, we have daily MPOC, we had short absorption. That's very high up on my tier list, okay, on my ranking list of trades. That's very high up. Okay, this short from all-time high, this isn't as high. It's up there, right, because there's major levels, but it's not as high as this trade here. Okay, this short trade from around 71,970. That, okay, is up there with this trade back here. That's up there on the ranking list. Okay, that's all the way up here on the ranking list. This one here, what was that? That was swing for high, EOC, mid range. Is that it? Yeah, I think that was it. So POC, mid range. Yeah, so that's up there as well, right? So this one as well, okay? This one is at the top of the ranking list as well. This one here, okay, simple failed auction. It's a simple trade, simple entry, simple invalidation. Again, that's up there with all of these other trades at the top of the ranking list, right? Those are the highest probability trades on my ranking list. That's probably a very good idea to do. I draw out a ranking list and I can share that as well. That will be good, because of course once you learn everything, right, and you understand it all, okay, of course I'm getting all of those videos out there, but once you learned it all, once you know everything, like all the tools that I know, right, once you know all of that, having a ranking list would be really great, because you could just look at it, right? You see a setup, you look at the ranking list, you can see where it ranks, and then you can also, like, because I do this as well. If it's up there on the ranking list, I would put more capital into a trade than when I'm entering into a lower ranking trade. You know, it's like I wouldn't put as much capital into the trade. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll probably do that as well. That would be a good idea. I just want to make everything like simple. Of course, it's not going to be simple. Like, it's going to be a tough journey if this is what you really want to. I always say to, like, some of my friends, like, it's not like some of them that say they want to get into trading. I'm like, okay, but be prepared to, like, go through, like, a lot of mental suffering, because you are going to lose a lot of trades. You may not lose a lot of money. Like, say you're using like a fake account, okay? Like, say you're just like paper trading, just literally have, because this is what I did. I had a Excel spreadsheet, and what I would do is I would just type what price I entered in. I'll type, like, maybe, like, I'll put $100 into the trade with however much leverage, and then I would go on to Bybit, because Bybit, they have a calculator, and you can, like, put in the capital, put in the leverage, and yeah, I'll just literally do it on an Excel spreadsheet, and just literally paper trade. I didn't always do it like that. Before that, I lost a lot of money. I did it the hard way, the stupid way, until I eventually learned, right, okay, let's stop losing money here. Let's paper trade until I've figured it out. Um, but yeah, I lost a lot of money by just, like, trying. So you've got to try first. You got to put the work in, and then, you know, if you really do put the work in, you really do learn it all, and then, you know, you know what trades work for you. Just rinse and repeat it. Literally rinse and repeat it. That's all it is. You know, all trading is like probabilities, right? Find the highest probability trade entries and take them. Okay, it's like, I say it's as simple as that. It's not as simple as that, but once you know it all, it is as simple as that. Okay, that's all I do, right? I just wait for the highest probability trade setups, and I take them. Okay, it's not going to work every single time, but it works like 80% of the time at a minimum, right? Sometimes it works 90% of the time, and sometimes it works 100% of the time. Not for a very long time, but it does, right? It's like what I was talking about earlier, the shorting from all-time high. I shorted the all-time high 6 times off of a swing failure pattern. Okay, 6 out of 6 won. Okay, 6 of those trades won out of the 6 that I made. Okay, so it's a 100% win rate. Of course, I don't expect that to continue, right? Say we come up to all-time high and we do the same thing, we form a swing failure pattern. You know, I'm not expecting every single swing failure pattern of all-time high to play out. Okay, but, you know, I took a swing failure pattern from all-time high. It worked. So I took another swing failure pattern from all-time high. It worked. So I took another one, and I took another one, and I took another one. Rinse and repeat. Literally rinse and repeat what works. Soon enough, it may not work. Okay, and that's when I will stop. You know, that's when I will stop trading it. But until then, rinse and repeat. And it's like the strategies, the trades that I'm entering into here. Right, maybe I wouldn't say anytime soon, but, like, maybe. To be honest, I just don't. Yeah, I don't ever think. What I'm trying to get at is, like, if you look at head and shoulders patterns, if you look at triangle patterns, 10 years ago, 20 years, 15 years ago, those worked a lot of the time. Okay, they did. Okay, but then they got too global, right? Everybody started using them, and now they don't work that often. Okay, and you could say the same about the tools that I'm using, right? You could say that, oh, maybe one day it's never, they're not going to work anymore. I wouldn't think that, to be honest with you, because this is all to do with, like, actual volume. So yeah, I don't think this would, the strategies or the trades that I'm taking would ever never not work. Of course, you know, you're going to take the odd loss here and there, but you know, it's sustainable because you're going off of actual volume. You're going off of market bids and asks, right? That's all it is. We might have to change. We might have to change or adapt to new strategies if the current ones stopped working. Um, to be honest, I don't ever expect these like strategies to ever disappear because, like I just said, there you're going off of market data, right? You're going off of bids and asks. Okay, you're going off of buys and sells. So you know this is there's no other way to trade like this. This is never ever going to disappear. If that's what you mean, we might have to change or adapt to new strategies. For as long as I trade, for as long as I live, I will. I can almost guarantee you, I will never not trade like this. Never not trade like this. Of course, it may change a little bit. Okay, it may change a little bit. It's like, for example, SFPs. A year and a half ago, yeah, a year and a half ago, SFPs, you would have like this here. Okay, every single SFP you saw would have been a huge wick like this. Actually, bigger. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, bigger than that. You know, previously SFPs would be like 20%, sometimes even like 30%. You don't see that anymore. Okay, this was about a year and a half ago on Bitcoin. You would see like these huge wicks. Okay, and you know these SFPs were huge, absolutely huge, and yeah, you don't see that anymore. Why is that? Because the market has matured. Okay, you don't see as big of wicks like that anymore. So yeah, you know things may change slightly, but to be honest with you, I'd only expect them to become more refined. Okay, think about this. Okay, think about this. The Bitcoin market hasn't fully matured yet. It's in the process of maturing. Okay, it's still a teenager. Okay, it hasn't completely matured. When it fully matures, okay, these strategies, okay, these trade entries are going to work without failure. Of course, there's going to be the odd loss here and there, but they are going to work better than they work now once that market has matured. And we're still, you know, in the teenage stage. Okay, we haven't matured, so you have to think like these trades that I'm taking now, I'm going to be taking in the next 10, 20, probably even 30 years. Okay, it's just not going away, and the proof of that is the ES and the Nasdaq. Okay, the S&P E-mini futures, okay, and the NQ, okay, the Nasdaq, right? Those markets are mature. If you trade those, these are the strategies that you use. Okay, these are the strategies that you use. You're looking at, you know, the in-time data. Okay, and those markets are matured. We're not mature here. Okay, the crypto market, the Bitcoin market, let's say, right? Because you know the crypto market, to be honest, is very far behind the Bitcoin market, right? But the Bitcoin market is still in its teenage stage. It's growing up. You know, it's coming to the end of its teenage stage, but it's still got a long way to go, if you know what I mean. And these strategies are working now. Okay, so you have to think these strategies, these trade entries are only going to get better over the course of the years, right? And yeah. If they do go away, it won't be for like 100 years. I wouldn't expect, right? Because you're looking at orders that are coming in to the second, right? You're looking at actual orders coming in, so it's like you're really not expecting this to disappear anytime soon. This is what moves markets, right? This is what moves markets. Okay, this live data. So if you're trading with this, you're gonna make money. No, sorry. What if you're trading with that? You're gonna be consistently profitable over a very long period of time, because this isn't going anywhere. I'm trying to think, like, what could replace this? I don't think anything could replace this. Okay, but what has this replaced? This has replaced head and shoulders patterns. This has replaced triangle patterns, right? And yeah, maybe something could one day replace this, but I don't see anything replacing this, to be honest with you, because this is it. This is everything. So I don't really know. So yeah, my answer to that, it's never going to stop working, not in our lifetime anyway. But yeah, like I said, the ES and the NQ, those are, yeah, here's the ES, right? These markets are mature, okay, very, very mature. And this all works on there. So I used to, when I first started, because when I first became profitable, I wasn't trading Bitcoin at that time. I was trading the NQ and I was trading the ES, and then I shifted to Bitcoin. But yeah, I was using these strategies on there. On the XO web chart, I don't believe you can actually trade the ES and the NQ. I was using Atis at that time because it was free. But yeah, for Bitcoin, I do kind of just prefer XO. It looks a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to use. But yeah, DXY, little rise. Bitcoin's pulling back, right? Let's have a look. Is it a good rise? I mean, this rise here, that looks good. Little bit of an open interest increase. I don't want to get too picky here, to be honest with you. I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking, right, that's not a good pullback. Again, like I said, we could start to see open interest increase as price is pulling back. But yeah, it's not a great pullback until we start to see open interest increase. And if we do see open interest continue to decrease as price decreases, this is just strengthening that conviction for, get rid of this, that's just strengthening the conviction for the Elliott wave count here, this bullish Elliott wave count, right? We come down to wave 4, right? We come down to finish wave 4. What are we looking for? Right, we're looking for GP 786. We've got MPOC down here, right? We've got a daily MPOC, and then we want short absorption, right? This is very high up on the tier list. Okay, if we get short absorption here, this is very high up on the tier list, and we are expecting a big rise towards the upside. Why is that? Okay, because it's up there on the tier list, and I can show you proof with that here. Okay, exact same setup. We had daily MPOC, we had GP 786. Okay, we had short absorption coming in there. Let's Friday the 22nd of March. 22nd of March. Let's find it on the Discord. So March the 19th. Here. There you go. Okay. MPOC, GP 786. Right. Short absorption. There you go. Short absorption at the GP 786 in confluence with the daily naked point of control. Right. Let's take a look at it. Price making really nice higher lows. CVD ticking towards the downside. Okay. We had minus 26, minus 22 million here, but then we had minus 13, minus 21, minus 12, minus 23, minus 13, right? So we had more aggressive shorting happening here than we had here, but price is making higher lows, okay? This was short absorption coming into, like I said, the GP 786 in confluence with the daily MPOC. What did we see? Well, we saw a really nice rise towards the upside. So if we see the exact same setup here, sorry, the chart's messy, but if we see the exact same setup here, I'm going to take it, right? And the expectation is that we get a big rise towards the upside. And I would like to see a weak pullback. If we got a weak pullback, that's another bit of confluence as well. Okay, so we have daily naked point of control 1, GP 786 2, short absorption 3. Okay, of course we don't know if we're going to get short absorption yet, but that would be 3. And then a weak pullback, that would be 4 bits of confluence. If we don't get the weak pullback, that's okay. I'm not too bothered. That would be 3 bits of confluence. And you could also argue that the end of wave, right, Elliott wave is a bit of confluence as well. You could also argue that as well. So, there's a lot of confluence there for a long trade. But again, if there's no short absorption coming into this level, I'm not interested. Okay. I very, very, very rarely take a trade at a GP 786 without short absorption or long absorption into the level. Very rarely. I like the Fibonacci retracement tool, but I don't like it enough to trade it by itself. Maybe sometimes, if there's like loads of confluence there, yes. But I mean, on the altcoins, like if I'm taking trades on altcoins, I don't really have to see short absorption or long absorption. But on Bitcoin, I like to see it. I do really like to see it. So yeah, that's a long trade that we're looking at if we get a pullback. Let's have a look. I want to see if I can find it, right? So what did I say? This was the 22nd of March, right? 22nd of March. What time frame did we look at this on? 2 hour. Right, so if we go 2 hour, I've forgotten. I've got 22nd of March, yeah. Right, let's see if we can find it. I want to see what the move was looking like before it as well. That would be handy. Oh, just. You can see here, 18th of March is the cutoff point here, because XOchart, it does delete, to give you all of this data, it does. I mean, the desktop version, it gives you much further. You can look back much further, but it takes a lot for your computer to run it. With XOchart Web, it doesn't take as much computer power at all. Okay, like a quarter of the computer power to run it, because it deletes so much stuff after a certain amount of time. But yeah, let's see. So 22nd, douche here. Was it that? Yeah, it was that, wasn't it? Okay, so yeah, perfect. No, yeah, no. Okay, so I mean, this was a weak pullback here. Okay, you can see with open interest decreasing. Then you had a rise here. Yeah, not a good rise, I wouldn't say. Open interest is flat, but over time it's decreasing. So yeah, not a good rise. So we entered into the short here. Okay, that was an okay pullback, right? I was going to say, if this was a weak pullback, then that would have been more confluence for the long trade that we took there. But yeah, the rise, it wasn't the best. Okay, I understand that, but it was an okay pullback, right? It was an okay pullback. So yeah. So it's just saying, like, we don't have to, right? We don't have to have a weak pullback into that GP 786. We just need to see that short absorption, really. But yeah, that's what we could be looking at. Again, at this moment in time, it is a bit of a weak pullback. So, we could give this back, and we're seeing a rise here. This is a good start to the rise, right? This is literally how I'm looking at the markets. Okay. All the time. Weak pullback here, right? We're now starting to see a strong push towards the upside. Right. Of course, now it's not like a really strong move, because it's only like a little bit of an increase in open interest, but it's a good start of the move. That's what I should say. Like, it's a good start to the move towards the upside. Okay. Delta, pretty low. Volume, pretty low, right? We'd like to see more. Okay. But, if we can continue open interest increase, maybe a bit more delta, a bit more volume, right? Then the expectation, right, is that we give all of this pullback back by getting a rise towards the upside. Okay, and then possibly, right, we can look from the short trade setup from, just get rid of that actually. We can look at the short trade setup from 67,243. If the short setup is there. If not, then we're looking at the POC acting as support. Okay, and then we're looking at, all-time high really there. We're looking at all-time high. So, yeah. That's it really. Any more questions? If you've got any more questions, we've been live for an hour and a half now. I think this might even be my longest live stream. So, yeah, I'll probably end it pretty soon if there are no more questions. So, yeah, let me know if you've got any more questions. Of course, I will be active in the Visionary Discord all day. So, yeah, if you have any questions, of course, we have the questions chat here, trading questions. Okay, you can put your questions in there. Yeah, like this was Legendary Vampire 51. Make sure you put all your questions in this trading questions here rather than the general chat. I want to keep the general chat more like just general chat, obviously, and then the questions here. So, yeah. Hey, AJ, did you TP on your long? And then, yeah, what did I say? I updated here. This is a TP zone for me, yes. However, I have already taken another TP on the long. Sorry, I have not taken another TP on the long, as I have already taken a TP the last time price was at these levels. My next TP zone is at 67,240, and yeah, I just circled there the last time I took a take profit, which was pretty much at the levels we are at right now. So there's no point of taking more profit off of the table there. I'd rather just wait for a little bit higher, to be honest. But yeah, make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you haven't already. And of course, if you are new, subscribe. Turn that bell notification on so you never miss these live streams. I haven't like cemented a time in like a time that I'm going to start these live streams, just because I do have a lot on. So it's like sometimes I'm a little bit too busy, so I have to push it back by an hour. So at the moment, it is just when I am free. But yeah, it would be nice to have like a set time, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think that's it, to be honest with you. Of course, I'll keep the team updated in the Visionary Discord. If you want access to that, first link in the description. Take you over here. Of course, you can sign up to the membership, or there's the free trial. I won't be running it for much longer, so just take advantage of it. Take a look at the Discord. If it's for you, then of course you can join the membership. If not, no worries. You can just continue to watch the live streams if you like watching the live streams. But yeah, that's it for me, really. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button, and I will see you tomorrow, which will be Friday, for the next live stream. I probably won't do a live stream over the weekend. I'll probably just enjoy my weekend away from the charts again, like I did last weekend. I did quite enjoy that. But yeah, that's it. So see you later, guys. Thank you very much. Goodbye, really. Thank you for staying pretty much the whole time. Thank you.